Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Before I get to the fact that 30%, the stock market rebounded 30% in 2 days. The largest rebound since 1933, or the greatest increase since 1933. Before I get to the fact that President Trump, in every major poll, from Gallup, he's at 49%. He's gained among independents. He's at 44, 43% with independents. He is even up among Democrats in Gallup, the latest Gallup poll. Okay? Not only is he up among Democrats and independents, but Gallup, he's at 49%. The Axios Harris poll, or the Harris poll, he's at well over, 54, 55%, around there. The average American appreciates what President Trump is doing. I'm wearing this hat because I support the President of the United States of America. Now, you can disagree. You can say, well, that hat stands for this, but that's only in your mind. Democrats have to make everything that they oppose linked to Russia or bigotry or some kind of propaganda spin that all leads back to the Democratic Party. They're brilliant at projection. Everything that they've ever accused President Trump of doing, they're guilty of. To my super chat, thank you very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. And ladies and gentlemen, in these interesting times, if you choose to support my voice via the live stream or the super chat, I thank you very, very, very much, because I know you could be spending on other things. The Dow has retraced 30% of sell-off in 2 days. This is Market Watch. The Dow Jones Industrial has been catapulted 3,316 points, or 17.8% in the past 2 days. And by the way, could have been bigger. It was up, instead of like 500 points today, it was up over 1,000 points today. But then there were issues still with the Senate bill. It'll pass. Everything will be fine. I actually agree with prolonging or increasing the amount of unemployment insurance, especially in this day and age. But that'll help the economy rebound. I told everybody, as fast as this took place, we are going to rebound almost as fast, or maybe just as fast. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has been catapulted 3,316 points, or 17.8 points in the past 2 days, including Tuesday's biggest one-day percentage gain in 87 years. So put in recent historical perspective, the Dow has retraced 30.3% of the 10,959 point sell-off. In 27 days from February 12th. So you're talking about less than a month. It dropped almost 11,000 points. It's now up in 2 days over 3,300 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, the economy is back, or it's coming back slowly but surely, or actually rapidly, hopefully faster than we think. The same people on the left, these people are like, social media has warped the minds. Social media has warped the minds of people on the left, Bernie voters included. The only people, honestly, the only people I have respect for on the left, aside from some friends that I have still, are the Green Party. The Green Party is true to itself. Bernie Sanders keeps talking about, 40% of Americans don't have this, and they can't afford this, and they can't afford that, and they can't afford this. Then open the country up, Bernie. You think people, and then you get these imbeciles on Twitter. Oh my God, millions and millions and lives can, it's like, okay, how many millions of lives are you hurting by shutting down the country? You shut down the country. Economic security equals health. You can't afford medication. You can't afford rent. You can't afford clothing. You can't afford anything. Stephanie Parker, Miss UHA, sending well wishes from northwest of Houston. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie Parker. Thank you for watching. Every American should be wearing this hat right now. I'm not even a fan of political slogans. Okay, I know that political slogans are vapid. I'm not a fan of political slogans, but I'm a fan of this president. I'm not a Republican. I'm definitely not a Democrat. But the entire country, if people are so patriotic on the left, and their lives only revolve around Facebook ads and Russian interference that expose their corrupt activities and their corrupt emails, if they're so patriotic, they should be wearing this hat too. Support the president. Support the country. You know who won the election? President Trump. You knew that you knew you had to win the Electoral College. The only reason Clinton won the popular vote, and she'll be the nominee again and lose again. And she might barely get the popular vote this time. There's a chance she won't get the popular vote. But the only reason Clinton won the popular vote, Stephanie, thank you very much again, Stephanie Parker. The only reason Clinton won the popular vote is because she outspent Trump 2-1. 1.2 billion to 600 million. She got only favorable media coverage. And the coverage regarding the Clinton email fiasco with top secret intelligence on servers, that didn't tank her campaign. In fact, they didn't even connect the dots. Nobody asked why she had the servers. Why? Nobody asked why. To hide communication, obviously. Nobody asked how. You transfer top secret and classified and special access program intelligence onto servers outside of the United States government for 4 years. But again, the media only asks why and how and connects dots that don't exist with Trump. So that's another reason I'm wearing this hat. Because he's the only president we've ever had, aside from Eisenhower, and maybe Kennedy, who's gone up against the corrupt intelligence officials. President Trump's the only president, aside from Eisenhower in his farewell address, to go up against unelected, very corrupt intelligence officials. And that's important because they set him up and framed him. They set him up and they framed him. And Joe Biden, now you have Joe Biden, who is just there as an actor. He's just acting, ladies and gentlemen. He's just acting. He is not there because he wants to win the presidency. He's there as an actor. He will do what Beto O'Rourke and what everyone else has done. And Amy Klobuchar, who dropped out a day before Super Tuesday. And Mayor Pete, who dropped out 2 days before Super Tuesday. Ever wonder why Bernie Sanders never talked about the app in Iowa? Ever wonder why Bernie Sanders didn't declare victory in Iowa, but Mayor Pete did? It's unbelievable. Then you get this is what I don't understand. You have 30%. Okay, the stock market is, put people over profits. These phrases. Then you have they want universal basic income. There are people talking about, well, we need UBI. It's you need to open up the economy. You cannot simply have universal basic income forever and have no economy. You will tank the entire country. You need to open up the economy, which is what President Trump is doing. Early April, he's going to open up to the economy to the dismay of Democrats. Bucolic Buffalo, you the giant MAGA hat. I get a lot of compliments for mine. Thank you, Bucolic Buffalo. There's different colors too. I mean, there's obviously the red one is the one that everyone has, but There's some different colors I've seen also. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Thank you, Bucolic Buffalo. Thank you. This hat symbolizes the United States of America. Even the Democrats, especially the Democrats, especially liberals and social media pundits. President Trump won the election. There's nothing wrong with this hat. People of all different ethnicities, backgrounds, colors, shapes, sizes wear this hat. And if Democrats were so patriotic, they'd put this hat on too. Okay? If Clinton, let me tell you something. If Hillary Clinton was going through this, I'd put an Onward Together hat. And really, if this was like a serious, if this was a catastrophe where the entire country had to rally around, I would do that. But this hat is actually symbolizes victory, not anything bad. Democrats assign, look, Democrats called Tulsi Gabbard a Russian operative, Jill Stein a Russian operative. They're the most, you're talking about the most petulant and malicious group of people who, by the way, will give up on friendships simply because of politics. I mean, does that make any sense to you? Does that make any sense to you? Since when does politics come above friendship? What kind of person? I mean, look, there are great individuals who just make bad choices. But why, if you're friends with somebody, you let politics get in the way of the friendship or the family? I mean, my God, how many families have gotten into arguments because of politics? But anyway, you have the economy that is going to rebound, and the Dow is soaring because investors are betting the worst is over. Day 2. Now, this was written earlier today, ladies and gentlemen. This was written earlier today. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. This was written earlier today when the market was up 1,000 plus points. And really quickly, there is no zero-sum game between opening up the economy and sacrificing human lives. You do not have to sacrifice human lives. Well, if older people are at risk, then don't visit them and tell them to stay home. Relax. There is no zero-sum game, Rose Twitter. There is no zero-sum game, Democrats. You do not have to pick and choose between the apocalypse and actually earning enough money to pay rent. You don't have to choose that. The reason Bernie Sanders' movement has become a gigantic bowel movement is that there's no understanding of economics. Zero. I'm not an economist. But I can tell you that it is good to work. It is good to earn money. You need to earn money to survive. You need to have an economy where you can earn money. If you do not earn money, you cannot buy shoes. You cannot buy clothing. You cannot buy medication. You cannot, you will become a statistic in Bernie Sanders' tweets. If you don't have a functioning economy, you will become a statistic in Bernie's tweets. President Trump is the president we need in this day and age. You cannot live in a cyber reality where church or a place of worship is replaced by sermons and preaching from a bunch of imbeciles who claim to be morally superior. They don't know what they're talking about half the time. They have zero concept of history. And I'm not this brilliant economist at all, but I have a concept of the economy. I understand how economic growth works. I understand a little bit about the economy. You're talking about people on the left that generally have zero concept. People are going bankrupt because of medical costs. Yes, and do you think they won't go bankrupt if you tank the economy, genius? Do you think people will not go bankrupt if you tank the entire economy? Oh, it's to save millions. It's to save millions. Look at other countries. You're not even reaching, God forbid, millions of lives lost. Not even hundreds of thousands. 80,000 in 2018 in the United States of America lost their lives from a similar type of strain of the same issue. Look it up. People don't look up anything. So it's like here, over 80,000 Americans, I'll just use the word perished, last winter, highest toll in years. New York Times, this is 2018. 80,000 Americans, okay? The issue we're facing is different strains every year. It's a serious issue. You have to take it seriously. Guess what? In 2018, 80,000 died. Dang it, I used the word. It is a serious issue. You take it seriously. You do not shut down the entire economy forever. We have a bunch of imbeciles on social media claiming to be these morally superior buffoons, and they make these absurd, moronic statements like, you know, I choose people over profits. It's like, oh, good. You can pay your rent. Isn't that nice? You can afford food. Food is good when you pay for it, isn't it? You can pay for food. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. You cyber imbecile. 78%. If you live paycheck to paycheck and you have no savings, which is most Americans, then you are one step from homelessness because of Cuomo and Newsom and all the wonderful people who want to save lives. You cannot deliberately tank the economy when this is New York Times, over 80,000 Americans lost their lives. This is 2000 in the winter of 2017 to 2018, the highest number in over a decade, federal health officials said last week. 90% of them were over 65. 90% were over 65. Okay, including 180 young people, children and teenagers. Okay. 90% were over 65 and 80,000. Did we tank the economy? Who's saying it's not serious? Nobody is saying it's not serious. Nobody is saying people shouldn't take care of themselves. But don't tank the entire economy, you cyber imbeciles. These people have zero concept of anything. They have no context. Everything is extreme. There's no logic. There's no logical reasoning skills of people have gone, like once they lost the Electoral College, they wanted to do away with every possible rational perspective of anything. People over profits. Oh my God. Oh, gee, thanks. You've inspired nobody except the other followers who just retweet you. By the way, in the United States political system, Twitter means nothing. Bucolic Buffalo! Earn, brother. Here's some cash for more Kit Kat party. Bucolic Buffalo, you saw my Target run. Yes. Yes, my Target run, everybody, on H.A. Goodman's other channel. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Thank you, Bucolic Buffalo. Thank you, as always. As always. Mitchell Smith! Absolutely agree, AJ. Every day we take risks behind the wheel to go to work. Third leading cause is auto accidents. Life is full of risk, always will be. Exactly, Mitchell Smith, exactly. Do you know how Mitchell Smith? That's a great point you made, and also Bucolic Buffalo, Mitchell Smith, everybody watching. If you want to justify any course of action, you can justify banning alcohol again. Reinstate the 18th Amendment. Ban alcohol again. You know how many lives you would save if you've banned alcohol? On the roads, if there were no more bars, no restaurants that sold alcohol, how many inebriated drivers would there be? You can justify any course of action. Tens of thousands. 20 to 30,000 people lose their lives in accidents every single year. And drunk driving is a huge cause of that. Bucolic Buffalo, Mitchell Smith, they want to tank the economy because there's a political incentive. It's not just to save lives. There's a political incentive, and that's it. President Trump's going to reopen the economy, to the dismay of Democrats. And every single curve and chart and detailed analysis and morbid, did you see what's happening? Did you see what's happening? They didn't do this for the epidemics under President Obama's administration. You never found out when things flatlined I wonder why. The figures, the aggregate numbers are not even. They don't even correlate to the epicenter of all of this, or the country suffering the most. My God, there's everything sensationalized because President Trump, to them, is the end of the world. This hat, to them, symbolizes everything they claim to be, but in reality are not. The same people who look at this hat in a negative way and assign all these horrible characteristics are the same people who will vote for Clinton again, who helped destroy an actual country in Libya. President Obama and Clinton and Biden, the wonderful anti-red hat people, literally through their foreign policy, obliterated a country in Libya, which exacerbated so many problems throughout the world in terms of refugees, in terms of destabilizing that region, in terms of so many things. People are still in that country. It is still absolute chaos and mayhem. And you have the same people pontificating on social media. You know what's the best thing when Hillary Clinton runs? Because she will be the nominee. The best thing, ladies and gentlemen, the best thing will be watching the same people who talked a big game for 3 years vote for the person that is the antithesis of what they claim to be. Okay? Democrats revere corrupt intelligence officials. They want to tank the economy under the guise of helping people, really because they want to harm Trump. And they didn't do this with President Obama's epidemics that went on. Gee, I wonder why. They're the type of people who go into an election bragging about how they'll win the Electoral College by a landslide, and then they are mortified and embarrassed beyond belief, and they can't look into the mirror because they'd be so stunned by their incompetence and their lack of intelligence. So then they say, well, Russia hacked the DNC to inform the country that Bernie was cheated. Then you have Bernie, who's too cowardly, the cowardly lion Bernie, who can't even say that he was cheated, can't even acknowledge that the Democrats cheated him in a primary and cheated his voters out of $200 million. And when Bernie endorses Hillary Clinton again, it'll be one of the best moments in U.S. political history. 2 elections in a row. Max Boot, Bill Kristol, The same people who push for never-ending conflict, never-ending military intervention under the Bush administration and all throughout President Obama's administration, along with Bernie Sanders, will vote for Hillary Clinton again. This is everything you need to know about the left. James Curtis! There are a bunch of informed people who are angry and looking to assign blame. People need to turn off the TV and use their brains. Exactly, James. Exactly, James. People need to turn off the TV right now is the worst. Oh my God, it's the worst. All it is the latest tolls and the latest figures. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The sky is falling. And then you see, like, you know, the tally of horrible things. Thank you, James. Bucolic Buffalo. Dying from accidents at home 3 times. Oh, my God. Wow. You know, there was a person who lost his life trying to put up Christmas lights. I mean, it's unbelievable. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Bucolic Buffalo. As always, it's unbelievable. Like, you got to be careful in life. Wilmar Castro, thank you. Thank you very much, Wilmar. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Wilmar Castro, thank you. Bucolic Buffalo, it's so true. It's so true, and thank you so very much. It's unbelievable. Wilmar Castro, thank you so very much. Thank you. You got to be careful in life. Does that mean, you know, am I saying don't take it seriously? No, this is very serious. Look at the data. It's very serious. Look at the aggregate data and take things into context. Then you have, well, the experts disagree with Trump. Well, I'm sure there are experts who agree with Trump. You don't think there's a medical professional who wants to restart the economy again in the entire United States? Really? Really? Look, if you go to a dentist, dentists are really into teeth. They're really into teeth. So they'll give you, like, ideas and options, and they're like, you know, militant into your teeth. Militant. Now you have to, you know, if you need a root canal, you need a root canal, okay? You need a root canal. But sometimes they'll go overboard. I'm not going to go into the procedures, but sometimes they'll go overboard. And you have to do this, and you could do this, you could do that, you could do this. It's like, oh my God. Especially, like, if it's depending on the individual, you know, you don't want to go under for a procedure that you don't, like, whatever. The whole point is that's just an example. If you're really into something, you just focus on that particular, obsession or, you know, expertise. You cannot remove economic security because that equals health. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. These are the people who are statistics within Bernie Sanders' tweets of morality. When Bernie Sanders gives his moral sermons, his preaching on Twitter, you know, 40% and 30% and people can't live and people can't do this and people can't do this and people can't, then why you shut down the economy, Bernie? Open your big mouth and tell the Democrats to open up the economy. We can't afford this, we can't afford that. We need $2,000 a month. $2,000. A lot of people can't live on that. They have families. They need to work. And this and that. And this and that. And you know what? Retweet. Bernie Sanders runs social media. He has zero political clout in the Democratic Party. Less than zero. And then you get the patronizing, nauseating concession, or, like, you know, the nauseating articles. You know, Bernie has done a lot to change the the dialogue within the Democratic Party. Bye, Bernie. Bye. Bye, Bernie. Bye, Bernie. Bye. Get the wait. Bye. You've done a lot. You've done a lot. Yes. You've done a lot to change the top. Get the out. Leave already. You've done a lot. Now we're talking about Medicare for all, and now we're talking about Medicare for all. No, they're not. This was all a charade. It was a theatrical performance. Hillary Clinton is going to be the nominee, and God bless her. God bless Hillary Clinton. I'm wearing the hat, and I'm saying it. God bless Hillary Clinton. Everything Clinton does validates everything I've ever said. God bless her. I'm going to, you know what? I might even I'm joking, man. Revco might even campaign for Madam Secretary. You'll see me. If she's not there at the convention, you'll see me with the sign, elect Hillary. She'll be there. She'll be the nominee, 100%. 100%. Hillary Clinton's going to be the nominee. It's their only chance. Revco! I am still waiting to see the videos where Trump says, I need people to eat fish. Revco! Thank you, Revco. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Revco, thank you. Sanderford, if you're going to buy my groceries, then kindly stop trying to shut down my job. Exactly. If you're not going to buy my groceries, then kindly, shut down my job. Exactly. Eric H526. Revco Sanderford. It's like, social media influence means nothing politically. Bernie Sanders couldn't even endorse. The pundits endorsing him. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that you look at social media, this kind of world that doesn't exist. This world that doesn't exist. And it's like the loudest voices have the least political influence, which kind of leads to an understanding that maybe people who actually run the Democratic Party are utilizing the loudest voices on the left to just funnel people back into the Democrat. They're not going with Bernie Sanders, okay? They're not going with Biden. So who do they have left? Cuomo? Get real. Who do they have left? They're not going with Bernie. This is a process of elimination, people. They're not going with Bernie Sanders. They don't care if the guy downstairs with a pitchfork comes up and runs against Bernie. They'll still vote for him. The guy with the pitchfork. So there's no Bernie. Okay? He's done. There's no Bernie. Okay? And when I was saying that he was the front runner, yeah, up until July 5th, he was. And then Comey covered up Clinton's crimes. Doesn't matter. She'll run again. She doesn't care about crimes. Doesn't care. There's a beautiful honesty to the treachery of Madam Secretary that I actually respect a lot more than Bernie's act. Bernie Sanders wanted to make a big splash and change the political paradigm. He would have joined the Green Party. Built up the Green Party. Then you force the Democratic Party to adopt every policy you want. Then you can be that social democrat that you pretend to be. or Democratic Socialist, whatever. Who cares? They're all Democrats. Democratic Party. Doesn't matter what you can be an anarchist, you could be a socialist, you could be a social democrat, you could be a democratic socialist, you could be whatever political philosophy that you think you are. You're all voting Democrat no matter what, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. No, you're not. You're a Democrat. Just you are a Democrat. You will vote Democrat. And if you don't vote Democrat, that I have respect for you, but then your constant vitriol against Trump helps the Democratic Party anyway. So you could disagreeing with Trump is fine. Disagreeing with Trump is fine. Every type of hyperbole and superlatives and extreme, like, irrational evaluation of Trump, that's not fine. That's wrong. So, I mean, it's not, Democrats live by hoping and praying that negative things take place in Trump's administration. When you live to make sure that only negative outcomes take place, you have a really miserable existence. A really miserable existence. And it's like, you know what's even better than universal basic income in this time period? Working, getting back to your jobs, not getting laid off. Not getting laid off, because guess what? You probably had a higher salary or earned higher wages than universal basic income. And you can if 90% of people who risk their well-being or could potentially lose their lives, 90% of the people are over 60 years old or 65 years old, then you tell those people to stay home and relax and let things subside and don't visit them. And then they rebuttal, well, you could pass it on. Then don't visit. But you could pass it on, then don't visit. But you could pass it on, then don't visit. For a couple months or a month. And then visit. It's unbelievable. It's like people want universal basic income, but then they don't want to bring home American soldiers, which you're spending on the interest, trillions of dollars on the interest of keeping these military operations going. Just the interest, you're spending trillions. So, it's unbelievable too. Then you have Jake Tapper. It's like, oh yeah, cough in your arm, Biden. Hey, Biden. Hey man, come on, man. Does anyone still think Biden's gonna be nominee? No. Biden. Look. I am a good barometer of the average Democrat's spirit and will. It's broken. I can tell you that right now because I know so many. I have many in my family, although I have also many people who support President Trump in my family. But I have many in my family who are Democrats. Many of my friends who are Democrats. And I can tell you, the spirit is broken. The political spirit and will is broken. Anything is fine. Hillary, fine. Stop it. Stop the Biden. Stop the Botox B. We can't do it anymore. Hey, man. Come on, man. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. And nothing to fear. Itself. But pick its charge. Come on now. You know the deal. Every time he says something that makes no sense, he goes, yeah, you know the deal. No, I don't know the deal. What is the deal? What's the deal? What did you just say? You know the deal, man. Come on, man. Hey, now, 18th Amendment. Come on. And the centennial. It's the centennial of the 19th Amendment, people. It is the centennial of the 19th Amendment, people. Hey, Fat. Come on now, Fat. Come on, Fat. It is the centennial of the 19th Amendment. 100 years ago, women were given the right to vote in this country. You think they're going to go with Botox Biden? I don't think so. Something tells me that Botox Biden. Anthony, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen. Nancy, tell Rand Paul not to come to any function anymore. Okay? The guy's bad luck. If there's a thunderstorm, do not stand next to Rand Paul. Make sure you're far away from Rand Paul.
Thank you. Let's see. So, Senate. So there's another snag. They're still they haven't voted yet. So I thought that they said they had passed it, and then it's like, oh well, you know, we have to. So they're negotiating. They're still negotiating. They're going to sign it in the next couple of hours or so. I'll do an upload, and then I'll do a live stream right after. But they'll sign it. They'll eventually sign this thing. Or actually, I'll just do the live stream. I did an upload earlier today. 2 uploads earlier today, actually. I don't know. I'm trying to get to the right mix of uploads and live streams. But come on, man. Who then they're about, well, you know, if they take it from Biden, the Democrats will rebel. The 90, I'm telling you, I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. And I'm wearing this hat because President Trump is the president that Bernie wishes he could be. He's bringing home Americans, signed a peace deal that President Obama could not sign, that Bernie Sanders wishes he could sign. Ending America's involvement, slowly but surely, in the longest-running conflict. First president to step foot in North Korea. First president to step foot in North Korea. Begin détente between North and South Korea. This is one of the huge, biggest things. Most paradigm-changing moments in foreign policy in the history of our country and the world. The media does not obsess over North Korea as like this, you know, imminent threat anymore. That's because of President Trump. South Korea is safer also, one of our greatest allies, because of President Trump, or in large part because of President Moon Jae-in and President Trump. Teresa King! Teresa King! I'm reading Revco. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa King. Thank you. Nancy, did you invite Rand Paul to our function, the celebratory function this evening? Did you or did you not? Can you even hear what I'm saying? Yes, with the libations and everything tonight. Did you invite Rand Paul? Is there a problem that you cannot hear me? Take whatever it is out of your ears. Did you invite Rand Paul of Kentucky? Yes. Well, don't uninvite him. He's bad news. He's bad luck. I don't care if you've already sent out the invitation. Tell him he can't come. Oh, I don't want to get what he has. Okay? Every 2 seconds something happens. No. I tell him that if he's coming, Nancy, I'm not going to be there. Okay? You can have fun with Typhoid Paul. I'm not coming. Okay? Mitch McConnell out.
Ladies and gentlemen. That's actually really funny. There's a message that nobody could see that I could see. I'm not gonna bring it up. Oh my god, that's good. That's good. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are they doing now? What are they talking about now? Senate rushes to approve $2.2 trillion. It's actually $6 trillion because then you'll get $4 trillion from the Fed. And then I get the rebuttal. Well, this is going to add to the debt. At this point right now, we spend in terms of foreign policy. We have spent so much in 20 years. I mean, that alone adds so much just in terms of interest payments. Withdrawing Americans, bringing them home to their families, their sons, their daughters, their husbands, their wives, their parents. The left doesn't even talk about this. Everything the left, their lives revolve around symbolism and political theories that don't relate to their own political party. Or, unfortunately, that do relate, depending on how bad the political theory is. Trump makes light of Romney's negative results. It's the best. The best is like... And then they make us like, I don't really care. Like, I wish everyone well. I don't need to know if someone's been tested. Really, I don't. It's not like, this person's been tested. This person's okay. It's like, okay, fine. It's just another reason for people to be in the news. Gosh, I haven't thought of that person in forever. Oh, okay, he's okay. Good, great. It's fine. Why do I have to hear about that person? Tapper, this is funny. CNN, how many lives affected by Trump's false sense of security? Oh my God. Reopen the country. Jake Tapper makes millions. Chris Cuomo makes millions. They're not worried about like they're not worried about just like being able to afford just basic necessities. There are 78% of Americans, according to Forbes and other publications, 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. If you live paycheck to paycheck and you don't have a stable source of income and you have children and you have a wife and children, or a husband and children, and you were laid off, you and your wife are laid off, you work at restaurants, and you suddenly become a statistic in one of Bernie's tweets, you want work. You don't want universal just basic income. You want work. Hi-Fi Trucker. Damn, man. Text Joe at the thing. Hey, come on, man. You know the thing, and you know the deal. Text Joe at the thing. Hi-Fi Trucker. Hi-Fi Trucker, thank you. "78% of workers live paycheck to paycheck." Forbes. This is Forbes. 78% of workers live paycheck to paycheck. And let's see. About 80%, it says here in another article. Hi-Fi Trucker. Text Joe at the thing. You know the thing, people. You know the thing. The worst part of Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee, but the worst part will be like missing Joe Biden's fantastic 1950s Too Cool for School James Dean Rebel Without a Cause, but in his case, Rebel Without a Clue. Oh my God, it's going to be so great. You know, the first thing we have to do is find a cure. Oh, he said on The View we have to find a cure for the cure. What was it? We have to find a cure for the cure? Hold on a second. He said this. This is fantastic. Biden. Cure. Cure for cure. We have to take care of the cure. We have to we have to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what. Yes! I love it! My prophecy is complete! I will have made the biggest political call of all time. Do you understand? Hey, man. Come on, people, now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together and try to love one another right now. Come on now. So, on The View, he's asked, "Are you concerned at all?" As President Trump said, "We cannot let the cure be worse than the problem itself." And he goes, "We have to take care of the cure. We have to take care of the cure of. We had to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what." Oh, this is like either the lights are on or nobody home. The lights are on but nobody's home, or he's so light years intelligent, light years ahead of us in terms of wisdom and intelligence. That like what he says, you can't even grasp, man, because it's so deep. Oh my God. This is hilarious. Christopher! Trump's approval will go even higher once people start getting the $1,200 checks. Exactly. Dems are nervous. Oh my God. Christopher, great point. Great point. They are definitely nervous. Christopher, great point. They are definitely nervous. And they don't want, they definitely don't want the country to rebound in the way it's going to rebound. They can't have that. We can't let the cure be the cure. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Biden, cure for cure. What does that even mean? Oh, then Trump. Democrats best and finest. President Trump he put Tapper in.
He's like, Vice President Biden, you should really cough in your arm.
Thanks, Jake Tapper. Thanks for making Biden look worse than he already does.
Hey, you have to cough in your arm, buddy. Come on now. Come on, people now. I'm coughing in my arm. Coughing in my arm. Coughing in my arm. Joe Biden, coughing in my arm.
There needs to be like a country music song about Biden.
I'm coughing in my arm. Not my hand.
We can't let the cure be the cure, man. We can't let the cure be the cure. Worse.
Huh. Kiss myself.
No, man. Come on. The cure is not the cure. It's like this. He said Biden speaks in a way Democrats understand. You can't, not only will Hillary Clinton run, they will beg her. Biden is there for them to beg her to run. Please save us. And she will. And it will be the biggest political call of all time. Hey, man, you can't let the cure be the cure. Be the cure of mistake more. Because you know. Because you know the deal. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you, Biden. You've made everything so much clearer for all of us. Thank you, man. Come on, man. People now, smile on your brother. Come on. You know the deal. The best is when he's kind of caught and he's, you know the deal, everybody. We don't know the deal. Biden, we don't know the deal. What's the deal? What are you even saying? What are you even saying? What is the deal? What's the deal? Trump withheld military assistance because of you? I think that if anything, Trump was going to give assistance to anyone who would keep you there as potential nominee. Are you kidding? The money would not be so you wouldn't be nominee. The money would be so you would be nominee. Are you kidding? This is hilarious. And you know the deal, man.
Nancy, I'm telling you once and for all. If you let Brian Paul anywhere near me, there's going to be hell to pay.
Ladies and gentlemen, to my super chat, thank you so very much. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, baby. We're back. We're slowly coming back, to the dismay of Democrats. If it was up to them, we need to stay in for about 3 more years. Till November. Their plan is you just have to stay inside till November. It's the only thing to do. It's probably have a political incentive for that call. Give me your thoughts below, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. Thank you so very, very much. To my super chat, thank you. I will see you in a couple of hours, people. Come on now. You know the deal. You know the deal, man. Thank you, everybody. God bless. We are coming back as a country. Thank you so very much.